Welcome to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We made it to Thinker Thursday. It's Thursday, y'all.
Ooh, I like that.
You like that?
Thinker Thursday.
It is Thinker Thursday. We have quite the show for you today. JP's banger montage as usual, breaking news, conversations about things that are going on. We're talking to Allie from Athens, who's actually talking about some human trafficking and sex trafficking and a movie. We're going to talk about that. And then in the segment called The Plunge, we're going to talk about rules for radicals because that's what's happening to our country right now. But first, guys, I have something to tell you. Are you ready for this?
I don't know. You got really started kind of flapping.
Fidgeting?
Yeah, when you thought about the story. So it makes me a little nervous. What happened?
Don't be nervous.
What happened?
So I'm in line at a Sanford basketball game last night.
Yeah. No more buckyball.
And we beat Western Kentucky. It was awesome.
Nice.
Or was it Carolina? I don't know. Western Kentucky. And I'm in line and I'm like, oh my gosh, be cool, lady, be cool. Because who do you think walked in right behind me, who is a Sanford alum and Sanford basketball fan and friends with some of the dudes on the team?
Oh, okay.
Don't cheat, JP.
He is one of my favorite
Sanford alums
people. And he is, just guess. You need to guess because it was all I could do. I looked over my shoulder twice and I was like, your fit is awesome. Camo, t-shirt, hoodie, hat, like the thing you've seen him in before. And I'm like, don't say a word. He's literally right behind me.
Okay. Is he known for sports or is he known for...
Nope. He has...
I thought you said he played basketball.
No, he's a fan of Sanford basketball. Friends with some of the dudes on the team. And he's exploded in the last couple of years. And I had to keep it together. Had to keep it together.
Huh.
This is going to surprise you.
Sanford alum. Okay. You say he's an all camo. Is he like a country singer?
Guys.
Okay, give us more hints.
He's funny.
Christ.
John Christ.
John Christ. I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it.
He was right behind me. And I was like,
why did you not? You should have said, hey,
do you want to come on my show? I thought that. And then I thought, I really need to get my game face on and be prepared.
Abs, you got to shoot your shot.
Well,
no pun
I know.
intended.
And then I talked to Will after the game and he was like, yeah, we've met him. He is awesome. He comes a lot. And I'm like, okay, well, to the games. And so I'm like, all right, next time I see him, I'm just going to walk up to him and say, listen, because last night went well. And now I'm going to be able to say,
look, I'm a pretty big deal.
I can't say that. I mean, he's just this very cool, very chill, but he did give a little of the, I just want to watch basketball.
Just don't mess with, don't talk.
And so I was reading the mom vibe in me, the mom sense, that sense we have.
Yeah. It just says, just walk away.
Because Chris Shaver has tapped Nick Saban on the shoulder before. That didn't go well.
Really?
And surprise, surprise. We were at a Bama game years ago and basketball. And so I panicked a little bit because I was like, I don't think it'll go this way. If I say, hey, I'm a Sanford alum, I work with another Sanford sort of alum.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it next time. I'm going to channel my inner Allison Sinclair. Maybe you'll be with me.
I was just thinking, I'm like, have I ever, because normally I will take advantage of every opportunity. I think it's like, you don't want to be annoying, but why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Like the worst they can do is
you.
put their hand in your face and be like, away from me. And you're like, okay, whatever. I tried. So I was trying to think if I've ever kind of done the only person, I totally freaked out when I met Donald Trump. That was a big L. Big L.
Yeah, I think you told me that. You didn't know what to say, so you just didn't say anything.
Nothing came out. Meanwhile, my husband Jared was like high-fiving the Secret Service and hung out in the tent forever with Trump and like just
Yeah, of course.
But I did run into Cam Newton. Literally ran into Cam Newton. He's so
Damn.
sophisticated in the Birmingham airport. And because we were walking and I stopped in the middle of, which you never should do in an airport. You shouldn't just
I
stop
do that a lot. It
in
gets
the middle of the
crazy.
aisle. Yeah, no, it's awful. And I was stopping to turn around and I stopped, turned around and did like the classic, like if you run into Chris Shaver, you got to look up. And anyway, he looked at me and put his finger over his mouth and went, shh, because he could tell I was about to freak out. Like, woman, calm down. And so actually then he took a picture with me. It was really cool. But I usually can play it cool.
I can too. I really can. I didn't play it cool when we were on a flight once with somebody and I saw them in the airport. I was trying to get my children's attention. It was Matt Damon and his best buddy. Was it Liam, whoever the Liam? Ben Affleck and or not Matt Damon and the guy who played Thor.
Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth.
So we're sitting in the airport and we're about to board a flight and they go past and he walks up to the gate with this entourage of people, which catches my eye because I'm reading. I look up and I'm like, oh, that's Matt Damon. Guys, it's Matt Damon.
You didn't do that over Thor?
Oh, he came up later. Thor was secreted into the bar across from our boarding gate. So we get up there and my daughter Wesley and I were like, there's Thor. And we're like, Chris is like, well, I'll just go get a drink. And I'm like, because he's like you. He'll talk to anybody which is great. And I'm learning to talk to anybody. And we didn't, but other people around them. And so they got to go have the whole bar across from this gate to themselves. And I freaked out. And the closest we got was Chris, like taking a screenshot of him and said, did you know on flights they get bedhead too? I was like, great.
Yep.
It's funny.
But normally I can because people are people. They really are. But I love John Crist and I find him to be, if you ever have a bad day, you want to go listen to him because he's just so freaking funny.
Well, we know how JP responds when he runs into his man crushes.
Yeah, that was actually the last one I had an instance like that was AJ. And you can tell, or you can ask Amy Beth when we walked in, he was the first guy I spotted. I was like, okay. And then for like 30 minutes, I was keeping an eye on like, even when I was talking to people, I was like, all right, where's AJ at? And then I lost him. But then we were.
You even said that out loud.
I was like, I freaking lost him in the crowd. Somebody distracted me and got me off my game. But then when we were eating and standing off, on the other end of the tent, I just look over my shoulder and see him walk by. And I was like, that's AJ.
Okay, so I was stuck on the party bus. But what did you do when you finally, because you talked to him before I got there, right?
Yeah. So
did you?
No. I thought I did great. I stuck out my hand. I said, hey, I'm Justin, and shook his hand. And I said, can I get a picture with you? He goes, yeah, man. And as I'm walking up to take a picture, I said, I don't want to make you feel old, but you were literally my childhood. And he thought that was hilarious. Then we took the picture and it was cool. Yeah. But so
proud of you. I thought you might freak out.
No, the other instance I had like that was with Saban. And when we had like a crew, like my friend group freshman year of college was like 8 people, like all my roommates and some of their girlfriends. And we were all walking it was a Saturday Bama game. And it was a big game at Coleman. And we were all walking into, if anybody knows the like facilities at Alabama, Coleman, the basketball arena is right next to the football facility, like the main coach's offices. You'll walk past them going into Coleman. And so my friends were all like talking amongst themselves about something, and I see everything. And so like up ahead, I see the door open and I see this car come up to the door as the door's opening. I was like, that's kind of odd. And I see Saban walking out. And we're going to be walking right past him. Like I can know that's how it's going to be timed up. And it was a big recruiting day. So he was in a decked out suit doing recruiting. So he was probably going to meet a recruit or something. And I said, guys, Saban's right there. Nobody heard me. Guys, Saban is right in front of us. Nobody heard me. Guys, Saban is right in front of us. Nobody heard me. So I was, okay, we'll just walk past them and they'll see. And literally as we're coming up, he just looks at us and goes, roll tide, guys, and they were all like, and I was like, roll tide, coach. And they were like, guys, that was Saban. It's like, yeah, it's almost like I said that 10 times as we were walking up to him. But it was like just one of those things. I also got a picture with him later with my dad at an event where you're actually like a meet and greet. But it was just one of those things of like seeing this aura walking up to you. It's like, that is Nick Saban. But no, those moments are cool. In the past, I probably would have been like, but now that I know how to talk a little bit, yeah, it's better.
That's so fun.
It is.
Oh,
what
I'm
is
sorry,
dinging?
guys. That's me. Everybody, that is me.
Can-
I apologize. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's real disappointing when you realize that
they're just
they're
people.
just people.
They're
Yeah, I
just
know,
people.
right?
People are people.
Like,
Do y'all believe in the you should never meet your hero?
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
I want to
Oh.
meet all my
never
heroes.
work at a church.
Do
Probably
not work. Mm-mm.
Never go into politics.
Except for ours. Our church is
Never.
I want to meet all my heroes.
Well, I mean, meet them, shake their hand, and then walk away.
But it's you'll be disappointed if they're a jerk and
Yeah.
ruin your whole image of them. But you can't put them that high on a pedestal to begin with.
I think if you take meet them real quick and then hold on to the image that you have and the reasons that they inspired you and just walk away. But don't get to know them, because I think that's a whole thing. It's kind of like don't even get your dream car. That's going to disappoint you too. So
Yeah, wears off pretty quick.
yeah.
Interesting. Maybe that's a discussion of the text line. Should we meet our heroes? Do you want to meet your hero? 833-687-4448.
I thought you forgot. That's good.
Okay, we're gonna go to a break. When we
Mhm.
come back, do we want a montage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, montage.
And which I'm guessing Minnesota is gonna take up a lot of our time today because that has gone bonkers.
Mm.
So we'll be back with that and more on the other side.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP on a Thinker Thursday. And next segment, we will have our guest and friend of the show, Allie, who will talk about a movie that is coming out. And I think it's something, I know it is something you're going to want to see. But before that, let's take a couple of texts in and discuss, and then share any breaking news that we have before we have her on.
Paul Bryant from Athens talking about if you would want to meet your hero. He says, no, Neil Peart, the drummer for Rush, would just predictably give me the Neil Peart, quote, cold shoulder.
Yeah.
I agree.
Red from Tony, Alabama says, it depends on your hero. So that's a good, yeah, if you have really bad heroes, then yeah, you probably don't want to meet them. But if you have really good heroes, like I would probably say the top hero that I would like to meet, because he was like, I mean, everybody when they're, I feel like most young boys, when they're like early teens, they have a role model that they just try to emulate their entire personality. Like Conor McGregor was that guy for me. And
I can see that.
I would love to meet him, but he is so all over the place.
Yeah.
If you meet him on a great day, be like, awesome. If you meet him on a bad day, he'll do like he did to that one fan and grab their phone, throw it down and stomp on it and get arrested. So it depends. It depends on your hero, if they're manic or if they're good heroes. But yeah, I would tend to agree.
Think about how annoying it would be to be those people, though. Like you were saying, like John Christ last night. I just want to watch a basketball game. I just want to be normal. Everybody just leave me alone. I mean, it would be so annoying everywhere.
I wonder
Everywhere.
wonder if the Sanford crowd is kind of used to seeing him though, or maybe not.
They Will acted like the team was used to. He had come to some practices and they really like him.
Yeah,
So,
but the moms in line aren't.
no, and the mom in line was not. And I was like, okay, Chris, of course, was like, I didn't even see him. But no, if he had, he wouldn't have. He was ready to get in and watch the game. If we'd had more time, he would have turned around and introduced himself, because he's like you, and he'll do that. But I just was like, oh, he is not wanting to be seen. Didn't engage with anybody in the line. Not rude, but just, you must get exhausted from all the people.
Yeah,
it's got to be exhausting. So sometimes you just want to be a human.
Some of them are really nice. I was thinking, like probably the nicest, this is weird, at the inauguration, ran into George Santos.
Oh, he seems like a fun person.
He was so nice, like stood there and chit-chatted with me, took pictures, and like we just had a conversation. Very down. This is before he went to prison too. I bet he's even more humble.
Yeah.
But some people will surprise you. I mean, and then some people will surprise you in all the wrong ways. But I kind of don't blame him. I'd probably hate people too. Yeah. If your face is everywhere and everybody wants a piece of you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to be hard.
JP knows what that's like.
He totally
He's like
does.
over it.
Yeah. I have to have security everywhere I go. Yeah.
I mean, the world can barely contain you, JP.
So a little bit of breaking news before we go. Have y'all seen where these 5 Republicans voted against President Trump, basically, and there was a war powers resolution to limit President Trump's and kind of condemn his actions in Venezuela?
Yeah.
Oh, can I guess?
I was just about to say, I want to guess.
Oh, y'all haven't seen this. Okay,
No.
good. This will be fun. Senators.
Do you want to go one by one guess?
5 senators.
Susan Collins.
Yep. Number 1.
Rand Paul.
Number 2.
The other lady.
Murkowski.
Yes.
Number 3. Y'all are so good. Y'all probably won't get these last 2.
Okay. Is Mitch McConnell still a senator, like currently?
Yes.
But he's just turtled away.
I don't know if he'd vote against this one though. What about
who else? Lindsey Graham definitely didn't vote against this.
No. What, Cornyn or
Nope.
Oh. Okay.
You're not going to get it.
really?
But that's
From
okay.
Nebraska? Who's from Nebraska?
You're close.
The guy from shoot. One of those states right in there.
Okay, it wasn't Josh Hawley, was it?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Josh Hawley.
I did not think you would get that.
Josh Hawley
Okay.
for it. So there's one more,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, and
All
I
right.
don't know who this guy is.
Okay, then who is it?
Todd Young.
I've never
Don't
heard
know
of him.
Todd Young. Where's Mr. Young from?
Fricka-frack.
Josh Hawley. that guy,
Yeah.
he was so
what?
squishy on taking away entitlements in the big beautiful bill, and he was like one of the last holdouts, and he had to be convinced because he got some pork for his state in Missouri to he just comes off as a squishy Republican. But I'll just say, what is the point of Republicans even being in power because of crap like this? It drives me nuts.
Preach it.
Trump said this vote greatly hampers American self-defense and national security, impending the president's authority as commander in chief. In any event, and despite their stupidity, the War Powers Act is unconstitutional, totally violating Article 2 of the Constitution.
Are they even Republicans?
We need to go into the War Powers Act because there's some specifics in there, and I think that's where people are getting tripped up. Either way, we black bagged a narco commie terrorist. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those 5 need to be on the biscuit list. We'll be back.
to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are joined by Allie from Athens, who is promoting a movie. And I hope, Allie, that you'll tell us about your association with the movie. We just watched the promo. We watched the trailer. It is incredible. And I'm hoping that out of this, it will be shown in Huntsville because people need to see this.
Oh, thank you. And yes, listen, it's not just being shown in Huntsville, Madison, Decatur, and Florence, but it's down in your neck of the woods. So the places that are going to be showing it are the AMC Summit 16, the Patton Creek in Hoover, the AMC there, and the Regal Trustville. So yeah, this is no small potatoes. It's a thing. And what I'm hoping for, before I tell you some of the story, is that the same kinds of things that happened when Sound of Freedom came out, that was only supposed to show for like one day, and people went nuts and bought tickets for other people and bought tickets for strangers, and it ended up absolutely disrupting Hollywood. Well, that's our hope for what's happening here. So I am blessed out of my boots to be an ambassador for Pure Hope Foundation, Pure Hope Ranch. And this story is a true story. I have met the women. What they did was they took two of the young women's stories and they made a compilation character. I have met them. I've been to the place and I'm so excited I can hardly stand it, and I can't talk about it dry-eyed. So Pure Hope is a place where women can be restored from trafficking. And there are marvelous places all over the United States. Camille Place here in Alabama is one, and they're all, what's so cool to watch is that the restoration centers, if you want to put it that way, are beginning to really link up with each other. And so getting the word out, getting the hope out, it's pretty amazing.
So tell us about some of the stories, because I know it's a compilation story, but how about this? How real is human trafficking? We know that it is, but it seems like something that feels far away, and yet it's not. It's around every corner.
Absolutely. Well, our guy Jared, who's running, that's his whole job, is to be a door kicker for this particular issue. And see, the I-20 pipeline in Alabama is one of the busiest slots of human trafficking in the United States. Now, in our own county, Sheriff Josh McLaughlin, they started an operation about a year ago called Operation Millstone, appropriately named because of what the Lord said was that if you offend these little ones, it's better than you have never been born and have a millstone around your neck. And they got their first conviction a couple of weeks ago. So the goal here is to raise awareness and to make people understand that this is just not only in Thailand, okay? It's here. And Catherine Lee and her husband Michael are the co-founders of Pure Hope. The way that Catherine became aware of this was that it wasn't a coincidence. She happened to sit on an airplane. She was flying home after having had a speaking engagement and sat next to the second most successful producer of pornography on the planet. And he noticed her because she was looking at her Bible and reading a book, and he was going to actually torment her. Once he let it drop who he was and what he did, he was expecting her to go all church lady. And instead what she did was she leaned in and she said, "Really? Tell me more about that." And the guy gave her the download as to how they do what they do, how they recruit. And she got off the plane in San Diego and said, Michael, I know what we're supposed to be doing. They sold everything, moved to Texas, bought a ranch. That's how it got started.
Amy Beth and I watched the trailer and the break, and I couldn't look at Amy Beth, but we both have girls the same age
Yes.
as the girl in the trailer. It was extremely moving, and it will. I think every parent probably needs to see this, grandparent,
Yes.
caretaker, because,
Yes.
like you said, I mean, she just was going out, from what I can tell in the trailer, she was just going out on a date with a nice looking young man. And she says in the car that she's not feeling well. He pulls over in kind of a dark alley or abandoned parking lot. People come in and she's gone. She's and it's almost really hard to talk about because it can happen so quickly, especially in the age of social media. We had Senator Katie Britt on talking about how vulnerable our kids are online. And you're like, oh, I mean, they seem like a nice person. Yeah. They're not who you think they are. My husband is on the Covenant Rescue Board of Directors with Jared Hudson. And he's been on a few of the operations, and he says it's just traumatizing to watch. And you see these decoys that they have, these people that, stand in as young boys or young girls, and you can watch the text messages come through and just how your eyes will be opened. And so I really think this is really important for people to advocate for. Now, did you say it is being shown in Huntsville, or are you trying to get it? Okay.
Yes. No. So far, we've got Huntsville, Bridge Street. And I do want to say this, you guys. You can go to a local theater and ask the manager if they're interested in showing it, and they will listen. And there you can do private showings. You can eventually show this at your church. This is not just kind of a one and done. This has the possibility, I believe, of making the same kind of impact that Sound of Freedom did. And see, the thing that is different about this one is that the first half shows the darkness. Now, it's appropriately done. Everything is implied. So it's not like you're going to be worrying about, your kiddos getting slimed on. But the real story is the journey of forgiveness. And that's why in those trailers that I sent you guys, it starts off with, how do you feel about forgiving the people who hurt you? And she goes off, and understandably. But the purpose of the movie is to show that no matter what you have been through, you can forgive, and forgiveness will bring freedom. That's really far more. Yes, raising awareness. Absolutely. That's the first step. But this is stuff that can be applied to your life, no matter what you've been through.
That's a good point.
And so in terms of the young women, and like I said, I have cried my eyes out being hugged by these two. And I will tell you that one of the things that happens with women when they are being restored is that a lot of times they'll hit a ceiling, so to speak, of recovery, where the whole prospect of facing down their traffickers is just too traumatic. But because of the kinds of skills and the whole package that's part of Pure Hope Foundation, these young women have been able to put their traffickers behind bars.
Wow.
And that is absolutely huge, but that takes time. The program initially was designed to be about a year. What they have found is that now, after having done it for 10 years, what they found is that a lot of times around 18 months is the sweet spot, because there's so many things. Oh, you guys, here's something. As far as the foster care system is concerned, about 42% of young women and boys who get sucked into trafficking, it happens in the home of their foster care parents. That's one of the stories of one of the girls. Yeah. I mean, this thing has tentacles like you just cannot believe, but there's hope. And I got a chance to talk with Jared Hudson this was before the movie came out, when he and Phil were at Movement Church, and I said, so when you get to Washington, D.C., what's the first bit of legislation that you are planning on sponsoring? He said, we don't need any. Just run the ops. And I was thinking, my guy, just run what's already in place.
Yes.
And I
Very
thought,
true.
let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Well, Allie, the movie is called Still Hope, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was
Yes.
confusing it with Pure Hope. So it's called Still Hope. And for our
Yeah.
listeners across Alabama, if you want to start calling your theaters and asking if they have it or requesting that they bring it in, host an event, I think that would be great. I appreciate you
Absolutely.
coming on, and please keep us updated
I sure will.
as when is it supposed to come out in Huntsville?
It comes out the 5th through the 9th, and we're hoping that enough people will buy tickets ahead of time that they extend the viewing times. And I want to tell you this. This is so cool. You guys are going to have to figure out and help me figure out what I'm going to wear. I get to go to the premiere. And
That's so
yeah, I know.
exciting.
I
You look
know.
so fabulous.
And
I'm looking at this picture. You'll be fine. You've got your cute red hat. You're good.
okay. Well, Alex Viadov, who was the bad guy on NCIS, who was Agent Gibbs's arch enemy, he's the bad guy in this.
Ooh.
And oh yeah.
No
yeah.
wonder he
And you'll
looked
see him.
familiar. Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy, and he's also been in The Chosen. And so you never know what's going to happen. I just reached out to him on social media, and I thanked him for being willing to play that part, because it couldn't have been easy. He's been on The Chosen. He's not a bad guy in real life, but boy, howdy, does he come off chillingly. And so he said, I really want to meet you, and I want to go to the ranch, and I want to meet Catherine. I mean, this is, I think sometimes actors don't really get a chance to know all the backstory of the backstory. They
Right.
might explore their character, but they don't necessarily know the rest of the picture. So being able to say, dude, I've been there. It's the real deal. You got to go visit, because you're going to see what happens to people when they get the tools that they need to recover. They really can recover. As awful as trafficking is, they can recover. And that's why they called it Still Hope, because Hope is the compilation character, and she ends up still being able to be herself.
Well, Allie, we've got to take a break. I really appreciate you coming on. And I think maybe in this actor, I can't remember his name, you found a great partner and advocate. And I'm sure you will give him all the information he needs. If you need outfit help, you can reach out to us. We will help you with your fabulous debut outfit. But
okay, I'll do it.
Keep us posted, and thank you so much
I'll do
for
Thanks
coming
for
on
having
today.
me.
Okay, thanks, Allie.
Thanks so much. Bye, guys.
All right, wow, y'all need to go watch that trailer.
Yeah.
Google Still Hope movie trailer, and but don't do it when you have to be on the radio in 30 seconds. It's a little tough. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We just finished up with Allie from Athens and a movie called Still Hope. However, moving on from there, which that's not anything you can just move on from, but check it out. We have the montage. JP?
It's that time.
Okay.
Stand by for
go.
news.
Michael News.
I woke up to some commotion. I heard some whistles going on out front, so I came downstairs to see what was going on. Wasn't even dressed. And there was a car, the Honda Pilot that's crashed over there now. There was a car blocking the 2 lanes of Portland traffic. She was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do, and so they wanted to get her the hell out of there. Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. That was her goal.
This is about public safety, and this is about normalcy. To Americans who are watching this, if you're in Portland or you're in LA or you're in Chicago or you're wherever they're coming next, stand with us. Stand with us against this. This was so preventable, so unnecessary.
We know that when ICE agents attack immigrants, they attack every single one of us across this country. And this is a city and will always be a city that stands up for immigrants across the 5 boroughs. And I have made it clear to everyone within my city government, and that extends to NYPD, that we are going to uphold our sanctuary city policies.
The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries and their borders. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in?
And I really love number 7 because it's my lucky number. I'm really good at football. I love the whole world. I love God and Jesus, and I love my family.
Sorry, I had JP add that one in because I just thought it was so cute.
That's precious.
It was Trayvon Diggs' son. I don't know his name, but he's so cute. Apparently, he's like, how old is he? 5?
It looks like it, yeah.
And it was at a press conference after the game, and that was what he said to the press.
Darling.
Trayvon, Bama legend.
Give you hope. Oh, that was so cute.
That was very, very cute.
The rest of it was not cute.
No.
No, and yeah.
What?
No, I was just saying, I'm sure we have a lot of thoughts on
We
all
do
of
have
it.
a lot of
Oh,
thoughts.
okay. Yeah,
So starting off thoughts with Minnesota, since that's continuing, I'm very thankful for the woman who saw it and could give the eyewitness testimony, because the rest of it is unbelievable to me when you listen to Tim Walz, like, save it also. And for Mom Dami, I'll always stand up for the immigrants in the 5 boroughs. When are you guys going to be for the American people? That's what I want to know.
You pulled an Allison, by the way.
What'd I do?
She said Mondami.
No,
Oh.
I didn't.
You did.
I
heard
really?
the M. Yeah,
Mom, Donnie.
Allison figures it out, and then Amy Beth.
Mom,
sets it up.
Donnie.
It sounded
Thanks,
fine to me
JT.
because that's JT. CJ, that was
CJ.
good. Yeah, so she said that she was successfully blocking 2 lanes of traffic.
Yep.
What do you, and it's like you watch these protesters in LA and everybody has a sit-in on the freeway and you're like, y'all are so stupid. Like,
Mhm.
what do you expect if you go and sit in the middle of the highway, or you take your car and just park it there? Forget ICE. Like, I'm probably coming at you because I got to get to a show, which I'm never late to the show. Ever. Never coming in on 2 wheels. So don't do stupid stuff and you probably won't die. I mean, you might, but it won't be because you did stupid stuff. And so then for Walz to come out and say, basically it was a call to arms for all these other cities to rise up against the police and ICE. Can you believe this? And I'm going to find the clip where he talks about how basically says we're in a civil war.
Yep.
I think we're at that time. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. You know, the breaking news of the day is obviously what's still happening in Minnesota. And when I was looking at this first montage story of the day, I found two interesting things, and I wondered if y'all had heard about this. First of all, the officer that was involved in the shooting had been dragged 6 months ago.
What do you mean dragged?
This is
Like,
the
was in
second
drag?
incident he had been involved with. He was dragged by a car less than 6 months ago. This guy's been in it. But secondly,
So he has PTSD.
He knows he's in the field. Kudos to him for staying out in it. But the second thing I found out about was that there were 100 ICE agent ramming incidents that have happened so far. So people, this is a normal thing that the communist, I'm sorry, this is who they are. This is their tactic. We'll talk about it at 4:00. But this is what they're doing. There have been 100 registered incidents of ICE agents being rammed with cars.
Which, what is the end goal? What happened yesterday is exactly what they wanted to happen. And actually, tomorrow we're going to have James Lindsay on the show to talk about, whatever you think about James Lindsay. He was one of the first ones, probably the first one. I didn't even really know what DEI was or any of that until he started talking about it when he and his friend wrote the fake PhD papers.
Cynical theories.
Bunch of gobbledygook, and they got published because they used all the right buzzwords like gender care. And anyway,
So good.
but he's going to be on the show tomorrow because what happened yesterday is classic rules for radicals and exactly what James Lindsay always talks about, that the reaction, I said, is the point. He says is the real action. They're looking for this. They're looking to justify their next step, which is exactly what happened with Tim Walz and all the Democrats who are now saying, we're going to use the National Guard against ICE and rise up and grab your arms. Like Tim Walz starts talking about, like, we're back in the Civil War.
Yeah.
He started talking about 1863 and Minnesota stood in the gap in the Civil War and it's time to do the same. And I'm like, this is exactly what I feared, that it is all ratcheted up. And our response has to be swift and concise and decisive, but also very smart.
You're
and
exactly
I'm
right.
hoping he will tell us that. We might disagree with him. I don't know what he's going to say.
It's kind of ironic that Tim Walz is going to reference the men from Minnesota who fought in the Civil War, because it's people like that he has been actively replacing in his own state. So
That was cute, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit ironic, and I'm sure the men back then would be devastated to see what their state has turned into. I'm an optimist, so I try to spin things. I try to be a glass half full person and not get black pilled, as I like to say, or be a doomsday person. But I'm also a realist, and I'm very concerned about the state of America right now. When you have mayors like Mamdani who are literally saying we're going to deliberately violate the federal law and continue to be a sanctuary city, and we're going to fight for immigrants over Americans. And that is not just some mayor, that's the mayor of New York City. And then you have governors like Tim Walz who are saying, like what you said, Allison, about the Civil War and calling on Oregon and LA, all of y'all stand with us and fight against the federal government. That is all deliberate declarations of war against the federal government, in my view. So it's concerning, but whenever I think about it that way, I just think, okay, well, the only option is to win. If they're gonna declare war, then the federal government has to win, and the only way to do that, you're 100% correct. And in terms of the reactions, what they want, now we have to beat their reaction to the reaction. Because like we saw last night, all the protests nationwide that were not organic. We cannot let them get their way, and we have to stand firm. But it is scary because you just look at how communism has gotten a foothold in America with these mayors and these governors, and it's like, oh, you get scared. But then it's like, okay, well, we have to beat them, and we have to win. And it's scary and may get bumpy, but that's the only way is, straight through and to get on the other side of it. But um, it is like a civil war, and I hate to say it like that because it's so doomsday. But I mean, just think about it. They're actively declaring war against the federal government. That's a civil war.
Mm. It is kind of amazing that the people who rail against being the same and rail against conformity are the most willing to conform. If they hand you a sign, if they say show up at this time, they're there, ready to be part of the blob, protesting something that they may not even agree with, but they're together. And that's what I hope will come out of this, is that we can be together, unlike Republicans in a different issue with the War Powers Act and going against the grain. For what reason? We're very bad when it comes to things like this. And we trot out but they're so nice argument, which doesn't work. We are trying to do this, and I don't know that it works unless and Gad Sad, we'll talk about it when we get to Rules for Radicals, talks about recommit. This only works if we recommit ourselves to a respect for human life and the dignity of each person and the dignity of the individual. And you don't have the collective, which is what they want, unless you willingly give yourselves up. And it's so ironic that the people who don't want to be the same as everybody else are the first ones on board to give up their right to themselves.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what it's going to lead to.
Did y'all see, and kind of falls into what you're saying, of like the woman that was driving the car that was killed yesterday? Why in the world was she there? She didn't live there. She wasn't from Minnesota. Apparently she is a mother.
Yep.
She is, and I don't know if she's married to her wife. She's a lesbian. Anyway, she lives in Oregon. I can't remember where she came from.
Yeah. Oh, she does not live in Minnesota.
She does not live in Minnesota. So she's away from her child, away from her loved one. Why are you that dedicated to the cause, which is kind of what you're saying, that they're so, I'm going to go do this. You told me to take this sign, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go take the sign. Or is she a paid protester? Like what? I don't know what the other options are, why you would be that far away. But do you think that, again, is this organic or inorganic as y'all have watched this unfold over the night?
Inorganic.
Well, first, also the tragic part of the story is apparently the kid of the lady who died, his father died years ago as well.
Oh, no.
So now this kid is an orphan. And I've seen leftists spin that as, see what you did, you orphaned a 6-year-old. Now the mother of that kid orphaned her kid.
Yeah.
Because she left him. I don't know who knows where, who was taking care of the kid. And, she decided to live a lifestyle of, being a lesbian. So I'm sure that kid was living in a chaotic situation for years in regards to that. But now he's without his mom. And why? Because she decided to go across the country and try to attack an ICE agent, a federal agent, to what? Because they were there doing their job. Like that does not seem organic to me. No. And then you look at the protest in response nationwide, where thousands of people were just like, knew what to do, go and protest in such large numbers. It'd be one thing if everybody was like 50 people in one place. No, like thousands of people nationwide, and it's not organic. No, that's what makes it even more scary, because now it's not just a bunch of leftists nationwide who disagree. It is an organized opposition to the federal government.
How do you mobilize and deploy that quickly? It's almost like they knew what was about to happen. And I don't know. I don't know if I mean exactly what I'm saying, but I don't
think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong, actually.
Because it's almost impossible to get that many people, unless you just have people in cities that are on standby, that you have a text thread that you send out and you say, okay, in an hour we're here. Maybe that's it. But it's a little suspect that everything, all the teachers that go out and protest, everything's in the same handwriting, the perfect font, the whatever. It's a little bit like that. And maybe this is a George Soros, Reid Hoffman, like Donald Trump was saying, and these things are already in the works. Hey, things are getting dicey in Minneapolis. Let's be ready. But how'd she get all the way? And why, besides money, I don't think a mother leaves her child. Protest in Portland or wherever you're from. But if you're not being paid, I don't know how a mother can leave her child. Maybe she's that crazy.
I think she's just that crazy. But also, I told Amy Beth this when I saw last night the response nationwide. And we're going to talk about it at 4 o'clock, but I thought about the Rural Radicals and just how successful they've been able to infiltrate. Communism has been able to infiltrate America to where it's like from within. Communism has gotten a foothold from within, and the only way to beat it is to uproot it. And that's where I start to get a little. There's a part of me that's like, if we're gonna have a civil war, just get it over with, because I hate this constant bubbling up and constant Mamdanis and waltzes with their chests puffed out, daring the federal government. And, it's just, like I said, I try to be optimistic, but we got to win. Like, communism cannot keep at the pace it's at in America.
It can't be. I'm thinking when you said chest puffed out, I was thinking about C.S. Lewis. And actually, this is the epitome of what he wrote about in Men Without Chests. That's who they are. And that's what we're dealing with. We do not have a choice. Y'all are right. We don't have a choice. And I think you're right. I don't know, other than money, how a mother could leave her child.
Yeah.
Or let's add in, and just that crazy. And let's add in, if what we are learning about communism, and if what James Lindsay has taught us about in the past from his podcast, that is exactly what they wanted to happen.
Yeah.
They were planning on that. It was just a matter of who is going to be that person.
I think you're right. Really sad and kind of scary. No, not kind of scary. It is scary because JP, I agree with you. I've been saying this for a while. Like, come on, why are we playing footsie around this? Except when and if this does happen and it gets really real, it's not going to be good.
No, it's not. Oh,
and
it's
I
ugly.
always hesitate to advocate for that too strongly. But I don't. Maybe a year ago, I would have said we have an out around it. I don't know how we do.
I agree with you 100%.
But God.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
we're going to take a break. We need to talk about Trump, who pulled out of the 66 UN and some non-UN organizations. Tuberville talking about Social Security age, I think in this year goes up to 67.
Yep.
Yeah. What a trap. We'll be back.
Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth. She's Allison. He's JP. We are kicking around the news of the day, which is Minnesota. This after Allison finished putting the table together.
I'm
And
so
you'll
excited.
see it shortly. It is beautiful. But what we are seeing, just quickly breaking, is we're also following what's going on in Iran. And it apparently appears that some kind of violence, shooting, a massacre is happening live.
Mhm.
And so we're following that as well. They're calling. I mean, the guy
so
is
far
speaking
behind. That's what you get when you put
Persian
tables
or
together.
Arabic. And yeah, but you're putting a table together so we can use it.
When did this happen? Just
Like
now?
now. It's happening now.
So last night, Iran shut off their internet nationwide. And so, yeah, it maybe to make it a little bit harder to see what they were going to do.
Does somebody have Starlink?
Well, Elon, actually, I just saw a notification. Apparently, Elon offered up Starlink.
Yeah, you got to get those images
Send
out
it now.
So it's just,
The end is near.
yeah, it's
Is that on The Simpsons? Wasn't there a
Yes.
guy that? Yeah,
Simpsons predicted the Iranian Revolution.
basically.
Are we talking about by the way, the other thing that I saw in the break is that JD Vance is going crazy on people talking about the woman out for a drive in Minnesota and held a press conference and said, you should be ashamed of yourselves, every single one of you. What the headline leaves out is the fact that the very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with the car. What the headline leaves out, and it goes on, is that the woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the U.S. and on and on. I mean, this is the point, and we'll get to it, but I love it when JD gets fired up. Okay. Because the newest lie over the last couple of hours has been, she was just a mother out for a drive. You people stink as humans. And I can't believe you would think that it was anything other than she was just driving.
Yeah.
You dummies.
Well, we got just about 2 minutes till the break, but can we talk about the shooting itself and all these people who are on Twitter saying, really? They wasn't trying to run him over. You could see she was only going this fast. She was starting to veer off. And it's like, you can say that from your comfortable couch on your phone, where imagine being an ICE agent where these protesters are all around you. I can only imagine the stuff they were saying to them. And we got people with agents to dox ICE, or apps to dox ICE agents, and people calling the ICE Gestapo. You're not in a friendly territory. So when that's the case, and she was already trying to interview with ICE agents on the road, and then as the cops are coming up to get her out of the car, she speeds directly at you. Yeah. What do you think? What are you going to do? If in that ICE agent's mind, I'm either going home or I'm dying. Either way.
Mm-hmm.
He's going home to his family.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's so maddening to see people give somebody like that the benefit of the doubt. It's like, it's really not that hard to not get shot by an ICE agent. Just don't drive your car at them. That's pretty simple.
In general, just do what they say.
Mhm.
Don't block the road.
Yeah, exactly.
For 2 hours where everybody's witnessed you doing this. Come on, guys.
And the entry point for the bullet was in the front windshield, which look, if you watch the video, it looks like he shoots inside her side window, but that's not where the bullet came from. And unless you're going to do one of these,
yeah.
Obviously the car's coming at you and you're shooting. I don't know why this is so complicated.
Same people that celebrated Charlie Kirk's death, are having to come apart because somebody who tries to attack an ICE agent gets neutralized. So
here's the word. It's the communist versus those with common sense.
Yeah. And are we in 4 o'clock? Are we going to go through the rules for radicals?
yeah,
What is it? Like 10,
12.
top 12?
we're going to popcorn read.
The 12-step program of
gonna
how to
be
be a
awesome.
radical.
Mm-hmm. Remember, the book's
this is
dedicated to
good.
Satan. It's great.
What?
I'll show you.
I've never read it.
Well, you're about to get a
I've read
Cliff
the
Notes version,
I was gonna
AB
say,
style.
that's all I've read. Okay, I'm excited. Social Security and some more breaking news on the other side. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, and we are talking now. We'll stay tuned to what's going on around the world, but talking now about Trump removing us from, is it 66 foreign
66.
organizations?
I pulled up the press release from the White House. Yeah, 35 non-United Nations organizations and 31 UN entities.
Real quick before we get into that, we got a lot of text about the last topic. Do you want to answer those real quick? Yeah.
Oh, great. Yes.
We got Jeremy from Madison first. Said these people were yelling death to ICE constantly. So when this crazy woman assaults the officer with a 3-ton hunk of steel, the officer is somehow supposed to ignore the consistent death threats from just moments before.
Hmm.
At least don't give away what your next move is.
Exactly.
Don't yell it.
Adam from Athens says,
Serious.
if the, what, the death to ICE chance?
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, be sneaky about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are the people who are, critiquing the ICE agent probably don't have very good survival instincts anyways.
There you go.
So
You are sitting on highways in
sneak
some
attack
states.
right there.
Mhm.
So you're counting on people's good graces and yet you show people none.
Yeah.
Make that work.
It's good.
Adam from Athens says, if there's another civil war, I'm going to be on the right side where most of the military and trained personnel are. It's a good point.
Night.
Yeah.
Night. Nice.
Dana from Athens, you were talking about if it was organic or not, the protest. She says, it's a non-organic Soros-funded organization.
It's good.
Mike from Florence says, the radical left and the protesters have been pushing the boundaries all along. There has to be more done about those blocking and otherwise interfering with ICE doing their jobs. I'm surprised with what happened yesterday didn't happen sooner. If local law enforcement isn't going to keep law and order, maybe it's time to bring in the actual armed forces.
Do y'all think that happens? Because I mean, what else? If Tim Walz decides to use the National Guard against his own people or against the federal government, what else does the federal government have?
Yeah. I mean, the 101st Airborne, like going full blown. That's just, if Tim Walz actually did that, that's not even, hyperbolic to say, I mean, that's war. You're literally having your National Guard fight the federal agents. Like,
yeah.
I have a question though. Can they say absolutely not?
The National Guard.
Mhm.
So that's the other question, is how many of the National Guard are going to abide by literally going to war with the federal troops? I really hope it doesn't get to that point, but you never know with people like Tim Walz.
I mean, if you think back to the 60s and several of the things that happened like right in a row within weeks of one another, was it leading up to the Chicago Convention? This feels like that, which those were all, we didn't know it then, but they were all done by communists.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what is going to happen. I hope it doesn't come to that. However, I would wonder if you're a National Guardsman to say, no, I'm not doing those orders.
Okay. But this was the fear with the Mark Kelly, how quickly we forget, you don't have to obey unlawful orders, illegal orders. So in whose eyes are they unlawful or illegal or morally wrong? It gets really, really gray, because to some people, this is exactly what you should be doing. And to some people, it's not. And everybody criticized them. And now we're going to criticize. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're in a sticky situation.
Yep. You really are.
One last text. Jeff from Indiana said, let's put the blame on this woman's death where the blame belongs, and that's on Tampon Tim's hands. You can't sit there and be a sanctuary state providing no backup for ICE agents and expect any other outcome after you've incited people by calling them Nazis and everything else under the sun.
No wonder people were driving by his house yelling words.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was pretty funny.
That was funny.
I don't know. And then you've got Mom Donnie, whatever. What did you call him? Dommy.
Yeah, she said
Dommy.
Mondami.
Mom Dommy saying we will commit to protect our sanctuary city. And basically, again, it's all about the immigrant. It's all about the illegal alien. It's all about zero protection for Americans, zero protections for the New Yorkers that are actually paying for all your crap. It's weird, and it's not going to end well for them. I really don't think. I think Mom Dummy has a rude awakening coming, because at some point, those New Yorkers that have money, they're not stupid.
Mm-mm.
You might be corrupt, but you're not stupid if you have at least some money and you're paying taxes. They're not going to stick around.
They're not going to stick around. And I'm thinking exactly on the same lines. Is it's ironic that right now the gap couldn't be wider between those who have, and they're in these beautiful penthouses and homes, and they go out to, wherever, Nantucket on the weekend, versus the immigrants that they bust in, flew in, got in so that they could vote for Mom Dummy. Mom Dummy. Dummy. Dang it.
Funny.
Vote for this little critter who should not have been elected at all. By the way, the rings that he talks with, stop.
Wait, what does
Anywho,
he talk with?
He has 2 rings on his hand, and he just gestures a lot with his ringed hands. But the people who are wealthy will not put up with this for very much longer. And I'm wondering what the breaking point for them will be. Is it when they can no longer safely conduct business in their business in New York City? Is it going to be when their wives get into it because some immigrants have attacked them? What is it going to take? Is it going to be that an immigrant is driving illegally and hurts one of them? That's when things are going to change in New York City. And I don't think it's going to be that much longer. I really don't. It's going to be tragic as well.
Yeah, I don't think it changes until, like, in Martha's Vineyard, when they start putting them on their front porch or asking the rich people to house the people that they've been yelling to
You've
bring
always
in
been
more.
for that.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, that until it directly affects them, probably physically affects them. I don't think they dip, but they're going to. And then it's going to be like, what's the city in Batman? Gotham City.
Gotham City.
It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah. There's got to be something the federal government can do to get them to them to obey federal law. And you can't just deliberately say you're not going to follow the federal law. So then my thinking is, okay, what is that thing that will effectively be like, what's that needle you can thread where you don't start a full-blown civil war, but by golly, you're going to follow federal law? Like, does Mom Donnie have to get arrested? Sorry.
What do we just
you're
need to-
welcome.
can we give him a nickname?
Yeah.
Let's just
Zoran. I don't know. That's his first name.
Zoran's easier, but that sounds like Zoroastrianism.
Now, does he
religion.
remind you, what was the name of the little Make-A-Wish machine in the movie Big?
Oh yeah.
What was it called?
I don't remember.
Have you ever seen Big?
No.
It was the guy in the turban, and it started with a Z.
Oh, okay.
Zazor, somebody,
That
a
guy.
listener knows.
Let's call him that. We're naming him.
It's
right
like
now.
Zoran. I really do think it might be
The great something.
okay. I'm gonna
Hurry,
have to look it up.
JP.
Anyway.
Hurry.
The Great Zohan.
No,
The Great Zohan, I guess was.
Is from the movie Big.
No, it's in. You Don't Mess with Zohan is the other movie.
never heard of that movie.
Me neither.
Anyways,
We'll give him a nickname.
Whatever that thing is, I'm trying to think of how you thread the needle of not starting a full blown shooting each other civil war, but something effective to where the Tim Waltzes and the Newsoms and the Mamdanis actually follow federal law. So what is it? Do we have to have a perp walk of Mamdani or of Tim Waltz? Like, what's that thing? Or do we just deport them? I don't care if you're a sanctuary city. We're the federal law. We're going to deport them anyways. Oh, you're going to try to attack our ICE agents? Okay, we're going to kill you. Because if you try to do that, you can't just do that. Okay, you're going to send all these people to try to do more? Guess what? All of y'all have a rude awakening. Like, just do not let them have any. It's like holding a little kid that's like trying to run at you. You just hold him like with a stiff arm, like with your hand on his head, and he just can't do anything. I guess that just may have to be it, of just, we're going to do what we have to do. And you try to attack ICE agents, you'll find out. And you try to start a civil war by having everybody nationwide to, form protests. Okay, those protesters will find out, and we're not going to let you get in our way. I guess that's the only thing you can do. But I would just love to have some arrests, because some lawyer out there tell me, because I understand it's a constitutional, like, well, technically we're a republic, but federal law takes priority. So how can governors just flat out say they're not going to follow federal law and get away with it?
Well, they can, but if you're taking federal funding, that's where I mean, because we were founded on states' rights before federal.
Right. But we also fought a civil war over that. So states do have rights. However, the federal government is the law of the land. So where's that balance, you know?
Well, then we wouldn't have marijuana in states
Right.
because it's still illegal.
So it's just such a weird thing to, yeah.
That's what I really want to ask James tomorrow is I just come back to that. I remember I was driving Molly back from a volleyball tournament from Gulf Shores, listening to him talk about, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. And I thought that is so accurate. So what is his recommendation since our action is what they want? What do you do though, when it's been allowed to collapse this far?
I think if you followed along, there's going to be some tension between his answer and our answer.
I think so.
But I think it's a good discussion to have, even if you disagree. I mean, he's probably going to call me a Christian nationalist. Hey, that's fine. We'll still be friends.
That's fine.
He'll probably say we're all woke, right? We'll still be friends. But and he knows us well enough to know, like we've known him for a while, so he knows where we're coming from. But I think it's good to have this discussion because you don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. He knows the playbook.
Yeah, he does. Wow. Like nobody I've ever met before.
I think that is part of our job here as a community to talk about, to be able to recognize the struggle sessions. That's all that's happening right now is we're in a worldwide struggle session every day in Minneapolis, in the grocery store, in your neighbor with the sign in the yard. It is a constant struggle session, and you have to recognize it for what it is and have an appropriate response. We can disagree. We can talk about the appropriate response, and maybe it's different for different people, but we got to be able to recognize what's happening for what it is. And it is straight out of Rules for Radicals, which I'm glad we're going to get to it. She was right in the front. Saul Alinsky gives a shout out to Lucifer, who was the ultimate rebel and got his own kingdom. So that's who we're playing against.
By the way, the Great Zoltar. Or Zoltar.
So yes,
Zoltar.
Yes,
Call him the Great Zoltar.
Have
then.
you ever seen? We'll have to show it to you.
I've seen those. Like I've seen the bit, the Great Zoltar. I've not seen the whole movie though.
Okay, you need to watch Big.
Okay, well, forever he's the
I mean,
Great
it's really
Zoltar.
not that great, but it's kind of classic.
Well, it's iconic. The piano scene is iconic.
Yeah. Do you know what we're talking about?
Okay.
Okay, we
All
got
right.
lots to do
It's
in the
fine.
break. All right, we'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio as we are finishing up the second hour talking about Trump now removing us from 66 foreign organizations, to which I say bravo. When did he do this, Allison?
They put out a press release yesterday, and the title is Fact Sheet. President Donald J. Trump withdraws the United States from international organizations that are contrary to the interests of the United States. So it goes on to say that 35 non-UN organizations and 31 UN entities that operate contrary to the U.S., they have now pulled funding. This follows a review ordered earlier this year. And it goes on to say that the point of this was to restore American sovereignty, and that a lot of these organizations have hostile or ineffective agendas that go against the good of America. Many of these bodies promote radical climate policies, global governance, and ideological programs that conflict with the U.S. sovereignty and economic strength. American taxpayers have spent billions on these organizations with little return, while they often criticize U.S. policies, advance agendas contrary to our values, or waste taxpayer dollars. We're killing it in January of 2026. I mean, he just keeps going. I think this is great. Hey, we're not going to fund the people that hate us. It's kind of like, why do we go shop at people, at businesses that publicly proclaim they hate white, Christian, cisgender, whatever? Why would you give your money to people that hate you and that work against you? So finally, hello.
Yeah.
And we're going to save money. I mean, can you imagine being a part of any other group in any other scenario? Hey, come join our group. That'll be $50 billion. And we sign up for it.
Hate in return.
Yeah.
Can I just say too, I mean, that clip we played in the montage of Trump actively calling out like the programs that we eventually pulled out of, like he's just going to the UN and telling them how much they suck, like to their face. And it's great.
Yeah, I didn't know where that clip was from.
It's from, I guess, the last time Trump was at the UN last year. Because I remember when it happened, everybody lost their minds. And it was also the same event that the escalator didn't work, coincidentally, right when Trump stepped on it. Mm-hmm. And the teleprompter also didn't work, coincidentally, right when Trump went up. So, how about we do the Woodrow Wilson approach of which Woodrow Wilson was the one who actually came up with the idea of the League of Nations, the UN, but we're not going to be a part of it. Y'all can do it. Maybe we just do that. Like, y'all can do it. We'll save our money and not be a part of that.
Look, when you say League of Nations, all I can think about is the like 20,000 leagues under the sea. That big like hat that they used to wear, the bubble suit to go swimming. So I can't even take it seriously because the name's stupid.
And Marco Rubio, when asked, well, the UN said this, and Rubio was just like, yeah, I don't care what the UN says, actually.
I love you, Marco Rubio.
Yeah. And Trump today saying, to the New York Times, I think it was about, they asked him, what's your limit? Your unilateral authority. It's my own moral authority and it's my own mind. And I don't care about international law. Yeah, we can just do that. So
do you think we could follow him around with like the cheer? Like you could just use the cheer button every time,
No, I prefer the pew, 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 pew.
That. Could we just be in charge of that? Like we'll just follow Marco around. And when he does good things, that's what we'll play.
I think they're all just tired.
I think they are too. Which is when people are really at their best because they actually say what they mean.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
we all know it to be true.
Look at us when you get to our age. You're like, no,
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And the Diet Coke in the world isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
All of it. I don't know how that man functions.
I don't know either.
Does he have 5 Diet Cokes a day, right?
A lot, yeah. It's funny. Marco Rubio put up a tweet today and said, I normally don't respond to allegations or the press like this, but I just want to say I'm not in the running for the Miami Dolphins head coaching job or the GM job. Because he takes every job in America, it looks like.
He's good.
But I agree. The international law part of it, like, it's not real. It's not binding. Yeah. There's that clip of Trump telling the kid in this first term about Santa on Christmas. They take calls from kids and he's like, do you still believe in Santa? Because at 7, it's marginal, right? And somebody took a screenshot of that. It's like, do you still believe in international law? Because at 35, it's marginal, right? It's like, international law, it's not real. Like, we got to do what we got to do. So
It's for people who couldn't get jobs anywhere else, so they became bureaucrats, and they invented some imaginary organization to take money from everybody else, do nothing, and have fun while doing absolutely nothing. So thank God these people are finally standing up and going, no, no.
We are the international law.
Yeah.
But the guy from Austria sits on some committee of international law.
He smells like beef and cheese too.
Gunther Fellinger.
Is that his name?
Gunther Fellinger.
Gunther?
Gunther. I could just say
what a horrible name.
I could just say Gunther, but since he's from Austria, it's Gunther.
Gunther Fellinger?
Fellinger.
Fellinger.
Yeah.
Fellinger.
I'm so sorry.
Bless it.
She snorted.
It's usually my line. My goodness. On that note, we're going to take a break. We'll be back.
I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors, you got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. Allison's still here. We're just getting a few things fixed up because, look, we have a new table that Allison spent the last 2 days building. I'm Amy Beth Shaver. She's Allison Sinclair. He's JP. And we are having a great day this Thursday. We hope you are as well. So we've covered the ongoing stories in Minnesota. In the first hour, though, we heard from our friend Allie about the movie Still Hope, which is about human trafficking and the toll it takes on the main character, which is a compilation character, by the way. We need to see the movie. You need to see the movie. You need to take your kids to see the movie. We know that this is very real. Yes, in Alabama. But now we are going to talk about the thing we've been talking about, the thing that seems to be simmering and to be woven throughout the stories really of the last couple of days, but highlighted specifically in Minnesota. And that is undergirding it, the tactics. They're doing hand signals.
I just want to make sure it looks good
Sorry.
on y'all's end. Does it look straight?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
I understand. I do hand signals now. Thanks, guys.
It's just very distracting because you feel like you're missing out on something.
But you
Sorry.
know, it's fine.
She's so professional. Just keep going.
So the thing that's undergirding all of the things we're talking about, really and truly, that has to do with this agitation, these people that won't get out of their cars, the organic, not organic protest, people sitting in the middle of the road, and on and on and on, is undergirded not just by communism. And we'll talk about none dare call it treason probably next week. But this week, we're talking about a classic. And if you haven't read it, read it. Oh, my word.
I have no idea.
Rules for Radicals. Allison Sinclair.
No, I don't. There's nothing funny, but okay, keep going. I can't
No,
look
it's
at
fine.
JP. All right. We have
All right.
dittos.
So if you don't know what it's about, and let us know what you think about on the text line, is that Saul Alinsky wrote this book, and he begins and says that what follows in this book is for people who want to change the world from what it is to what they believe it should be. The Prince was written by Machiavelli for the haves on how to hold on to power. Rules for Radicals is written for the have-nots on how to take it away, which, by the way, just from the beginning, who is a have-not in the United States of America? I'm just asking. Like,
JP.
Who's a have-not?
What? I'm a have not.
I mean, well, you're the lowest of the low.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because he's a white dude.
Yeah.
I'm a white, straight Christian male who's 22.
But yeah, you're pretty much worthless.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't think that's what you're asking.
No, actually, it's not.
Okay.
But his rules were derived from many successful campaigns where he helped poor people fight power and privilege, which, what do those words mean? They're based in Marxist ideology between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, which also is really ridiculous. It's written from a point of envy by a man who never could hold a job. So Saul Alinsky comes along. He's like, I'm going to write a book on how to take away power from the people I perceive to have it. So here are the rules that are literally holding up the people that you're saying in your life today. What is driving these crazy people in Minnesota? This right here.
What is this?
Oh, that's for the end. This is fun.
Okay.
So it's time for class. Okay, not really. I'm just kidding.
Miss Shaver's class time.
Yes.
Miss Shaver's class
This
time.
is called the plunge. I got my pen.
Wait.
It is-
Wait. The plunge. Hold on. We have a sound effect for this.
Which is exactly what we should do with these ideas, except they've taken hold. I love that, JP.
That's such a
Thank
long
you.
flush.
It is a long flush. Today's flush, that's you're using too much water in that flush,
Climate
JP.
change people would
Yeah.
very much disagree with that flush.
So we're popcorn reading like Allison and I did before.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
In JP and I
I don't have my
decided that.
glasses. Where are my
you can,
glasses?
Allison, it's in
It is
our
pretty
eye
big. Okay.
size. Okay.
Let me turn my flashlight
So we're
on.
popcorn reading like we would do in class. And the three of us were probably like, me, pick me. I'll read.
Can we
But
comment
this-
after we read, or is
We're
this
going to
just-
comment just
Okay.
like we did with some of the rules that we read about the 45 communist planks. Remember we did that a couple weeks ago?
yeah.
Okay, this is part 2. Okay, and we're going to do this from time to time, but really the segment is the plunge because we've got to figure out, if we don't know already, this is what's undergirding everything you see. Everything. Number 1, this is Saul Alinsky, who did dedicate his book to Satan. Power. Hold on. Should we read it in like a very fancy,
No, it needs
arrogant
to be
professor voice?
Like power.
Yeah,
It's
that.
not only what you have.
Yeah, it's that. It's power is not only what you have, but what an opponent thinks you have. If your organization is small, hide your numbers in the dark and raise a din. That means a ruckus. That means a protest that will make everyone think you have many more people than you do. Like, is that not so true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually think that's a good rule. It's a good tactic, and we should use it.
Exactly.
Right. It's just like how we question, how they can organize so well. It's because they hide it. They hide how they organize so well. And it's such a like shadowy, unknown almost.
They hide that it's fake.
Yeah.
We'll each take 2 rules.
Okay.
Rule number 2, never go outside the experience of your people. The result is confusion, fear, and retreat.
I don't know what that means.
So,
Oh, I do know what that means. Like,
Eh.
I'm so oppressed because I experienced this.
well, I kind of read it as like you live and associate with your own, and y'all can be like hive minded, and if you're a communist, don't go outside your communist, echo chamber. Don't go into capitalist land because it will just confuse you, and no other experience. Am I wrong? And
I don't think you're wrong. I think it's why we see them stick to the plan.
right.
Stick to the plan.
And they march in unison.
Stick to the plan.
Yeah.
This is us. Don't get outside of us. It's total hive mind.
Yeah. So like, don't go outside your tribe. Essentially, it's kind of how I read it.
Well, how do you influence people and change people's minds if you don't go outside your tribe?
Well, because if your tribe is effective, then we don't even need to work with the other side. We'll just be so dang effective and good that we can just destroy them. It's like a us versus them.
Okay.
That's kind of how I read it.
I thought it meant like how, speak your truth and your experience, and your truth is your truth, and nobody can tell you that your experience is wrong.
I think that's also true.
That's pretty good, Allison.
Okay.
All right, Allison.
Rule 3. Let me get my flashlight.
They're very good at the rule number 3.
Whenever possible, go outside the experience of an opponent. Here, you want to cause confusion, fear, and retreat. Okay, now I'm confused.
Right. So in this one, it's like us on the right, us conservatives, we don't live like how the communists live. We don't have the same values and such. So essentially they're saying be different than your opponent, be new. And because that's what scares people. If you're going up against somebody you don't understand, like the communists, but they understand each other, but we don't understand them, then that's effective because it causes fear in those because they don't understand it. But they're all in unison and effective because they get each other.
Right.
So it's like go outside the experience, aka be different than your opponent because they can't understand you and they don't know you.
Yeah. Find out what they don't know and then go do that.
Right.
Do that thing. They don't understand. We don't understand somebody being willing to ram an ICE agent with their car, which is why they're doing it. That's so not us at all. We're law and order. Obey the law. Do the law. They'll do it. That causes, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We're confused. And now you're afraid. Are they all going to do this? Probably. And then we're like, most of the time, think about this we talk about this on the show a lot. Most of the time, Republicans are like, okay. That's what they're doing.
I got an example for you. I mean,
Yeah.
it is sports related, but it's still an example. It's kind of like back in the 70s when Bear Bryant decided to change Alabama to the wishbone when they weren't the wishbone ever. And then that whole summer, the offseason, there was no reporters. Anybody was allowed in the practices to leak it or anything. And they were all together and they understood their plan. First game against USC, USC's expecting the Alabama offensive old, and they come out in the wishbone, and they don't understand it. That's outside USC's experience and knowledge. But Bama, who did all summer doing that, they understood it because they stuck together and they amongst themselves understood it. But USC was thrown for a loop because they didn't understand. They didn't have any film to watch on it. So that's kind of the way I see it as, if they're so effective amongst themselves and they can be different than the conservative Christian capitalists, then that's how they're effective because we don't understand them, but they're together and they understand each other and they're effective. So that's kind of how my sports brain.
That's a good sports brain analogy, actually.
I'm still confused, which actually is the point. Confuse, fear, and retreat. Like, I just want to go home.
Exactly.
Make opponents, number 4, make opponents live up to their own book of rules. You can kill, this is in quotes, you can kill them with this, for they can no more obey their own rules than the Christian church can live up to Christianity.
Right. That, man.
That's
a big one.
That's probably the first one. And I know we have to go to a break, but that's probably the first one I ever noticed.
Yeah.
Was that when a Christian or a Republican would fall, they'd make hay. Because they're like, you're a Christian. You're not supposed to do things like that.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're over there living it up, doing what they want because there are no rules for them.
Yeah.
But there are rules for us. And they always hold us up to rules. They'll twist scripture to do it.
Right.
But they will not stop ridiculing anybody who claims the name of Christ or a Republican for that matter. And they fall and they don't live up to their expectations. They will destroy you over it. That was really in the 80s, the thing that I, as a, teenager was beginning to go, wait, I didn't know what it was. I just noticed it happen. It started happening.
Well, we take lectures on morality from people who don't share our values. And so we're playing by a playbook. There's no playbook on their side. It's like whenever the left's in power, it's like, oh, but guys, you don't want to do that. We didn't do it to y'all when we were in power. Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to slit your throat. But then when Republicans are in power, the Democrats are like, oh, that's not allowed. And then we're like, we're right. We don't like it when they do
retreat.
That. But then they get in power and they just.
Every time.
Yeah, we're taking lectures from people who don't share any of our values.
So is that like where they say, well, the Bible says if you hate your brother, you're guilty of murder.
Yep.
And you twist scripture about immigration when there's a sojourner in your gates, and they know they're twisting it, but they think you're going to believe it because they're like, oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, we're on through number 4. I'm going to do some research during the break so I can figure out my own experience.
I love it.
I'll tell you yours too, JP. But we'll be back with rule 5 through 12. We got lots to do.
We'll
be
roll
back.
back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP, taking our time going through Rules for Radicals. We are, before we get to Rule 5, which you will recognize and you will understand because it's probably been done to you if you're in the fight, is Rule number 2 and Rule number 3. Rule number 2 says never go outside the experience of your people. The result is confusion, fear, and retreat. But it reverses and says, but whenever possible, go outside the experience of an opponent. Here, you want to cause confusion, fear, and retreat.
So, chat, I had to sort this out in my brainicle. Chat GPT tells me that rule number 3 means gaining leverage by pushing opponents into situations they don't know how to handle, while, this is number 2, you stay within your group's comfort zone. And it's talking about use unexpected arguments instead of standard talking points, challenging an institution with methods it hasn't faced before, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah.
So go with what you, in his rules, those guys go with what you know and make sure that you go with what they don't.
Yes. And force them to confront ideas and tactics and situations that they aren't familiar with.
This is number 5, JP, right?
Yeah.
This is Minnesota.
Ridicule is man's most potent weapon. It's hard to counteract ridicule, and it infuriates the opposition, which then reacts to your advantage.
Or sort of, sorry, that's not Minnesota yet, but yes. Do they not do that? I mean, look on the interwebs.
Is that like you're simple-minded, you're a Nazi, you're
the Gestapo,
domestic terrorist,
you're a bigot, you're a homophobe.
So it's kind of like what you were saying, Allison. The reaction is what they want. So they ridicule you until they get the reaction they want, and they bait you.
Okay. Which they really know the human heart, don't they? Who wants to be ridiculed?
Yeah, no. Talk to any middle schooler, and it doesn't go away even when you get older.
Rule number 6: a good tactic is one your people enjoy. Quote, if your people aren't having a ball doing it, there's something very wrong with the tactic.
So take joy in making people miserable?
Yeah. Oh. Go to these protests in male genitalia costumes like we saw in Fairhope earlier this year, stupid stuff like that.
Make it really fun.
Make it really fun. And yeah.
If you aren't having fun, man, these people's idea of fun is disturbing.
It's sick and twisted.
Yeah.
Is this? Yeah.
We can probably get 2 more.
Okay.
Real quick for the segment.
Which one do you think we should do? They're all.
Do you just want to read 7 and 8 real quick?
Yeah. A tactic that drags on for too long becomes a drag. Commitment may become ritualistic as people turn to other issues. That's very true. They're very good at bait and switch and then on and on. 8 is keep the pressure on, use different tactics and actions, which see Rule 7, and use all the events of the period for your purpose. Never let a crisis go to waste, as Rahm Emanuel said. The major premise for tactics is the development of operations that will maintain a constant pressure upon the opposition. Think Trump, Russia, Russia, Russia. It is this that will cause the opposition to react to your advantage.
Which is exactly what we saw in Minneapolis yesterday. Use every event for your purpose. How quickly they turned it around and used it to the advantage of their agenda and their talking points and their Trump is evil. The federal government is evil. White people are evil. Law enforcement is evil. I mean, it just continues. And this started, y'all, I mean, I'm tired. Are we not? Think about the Summer of Love, BLM. Like, we're still doing the same thing. And maybe that's what they're hoping, is that we'll all get worn down and just go home. The problem is, at this point, if we do that, we lose our country. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but it's just the facts. Okay, we'll get to 9, 10, 11, and 12 on the other side. We'll be right back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back. to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are finishing up our third hour of the day, well, nearly, and finishing up Rules for Radicals. We are on rule number 9. Allison.
This is good. Of course, y'all gave me the longest one to read, and I can't see. Okay. Rule number 9. The threat. Oh, this is so true. The threat is more terrifying than the thing itself. When Alinsky leaked word that large numbers of poor people were going to tie up the washrooms of O'Hare Airport in Chicago, Chicago authorities quickly agreed to act on a long-standing commitment to a ghetto organization. They imagined the mayhem as thousands of passengers poured off airplanes to discover their washroom occupied. Then they imagined the international embarrassment and the damage to the city's reputation. So is that not so true?
Yeah. The threat and the extreme, it's like the extreme rhetoric of Nazis and all that kind of ties into it as well, because in 2016 it's like, I don't want to be called a racist, I don't want to be called a Nazi.
Yep.
And it keeps ratcheting up. And it's like with terrorism, it's like their response to the threats of bombings or whatever, that's what they want, that's how they win. So I would agree with that 100%. And
That's
I don't know what
the real fear, because why did that just go out?
I wonder if the extension cord over there got turned off.
Oh, I may have turned it off.
I'll go look. Y'all keep talking.
But yeah, and you think about, I don't know, you've got a bully at school. Well, what's the real consequence of that? The real action that they achieve is that every day you go home and you're like, oh, okay, I'm safe. And then the morning rolls around and you're like, I got to go back in there. And just the thought of what they might do is enough to disrupt your life entirely.
Well, think about what they're saying right now is that weak men like Tim Walz are saying, well, we're going to call it the National Guard. And now they're setting it up that there's going to be this big fight. And everybody's like, oh, crap. We don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And
do you think that's what they're saying now?
Well, I mean, they're threatening to call out the National Guard. Didn't Tim Walz threaten?
No, but do you think they're saying we don't want to do this?
Well, we're going, our side's like, does it really have to get to that?
Saying. Yeah.
Like they're out there going, we're going to call it the National Guard. And we've got ICE agents and we're like, okay, but do you really want to do that? So it's this threat that's just looming out there. And we're all going, what's going to happen now?
It's kind of like how Satan works. He wants to get in your head, and it's the what ifs and
it's good.
It's all not action. It's all within your
always
between two ears, and so that's kind of
that's a good analogy. Because what is it like? Usually, 99% of what you worry about and ruminate over never comes to pass.
Yeah,
but it paralyzes you. Very good. You're so smart.
Oh, thank you.
Rule 10, the price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. Avoid being trapped by an opponent or an interviewee who says, okay, what would you do? Wait, let me read that again. The price. Oh.
So you got to make it to where your way is the only way.
Yep.
Lead them to water and make them think it was their idea to drink.
Yep. Okay.
It's my turn.
Yes, sir.
It's the last one.
No, there's 2 more.
Oh, you're right.
Rule 11. I'm sorry.
Wait.
No, 11. I lied.
There's 11. Yeah. That's the last one. Rule 11. Pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. Don't try to attack abstract corporations or bureaucracies. Identify a responsible individual. Ignore attempts to shift or spread the blame. According to Alinsky, the main job of the organizer is to bait an opponent into reacting. The enemy properly goaded and guided in his reaction will be your major strength.
And there we have Minnesota.
That is James Lindsay's. The reaction is the real action. That's what they're going for. Pick the target, ICE agents, freeze it, personalize, and polarize it. And that didn't take them long to polarize it and pick their sides and come after and use that to their agenda.
Yep.
Identify a responsible individual. Don't try to attack abstract corporations or bureaucracies. Ignore attempts to shift or spread the blame.
So I think it was great to read these today because And I actually, it's funny because last night when I was, kind of winding down for bed and I was looking at all these protests that were forming, I literally thought about these rules because it just seems so in unison and planned and targeted. And I wonder, in terms of inorganic versus organic, it just seems a lot like somebody is organizing them and this is their playbook. And so it's not just a bunch of people who don't like Trump. It's a bunch of people who want to destroy America via communism. And this is their playbook for it. And they got their minions doing their work. So we got to strike at the source. And I guess it's who is the source. And I guess, that's a bit more of a difficult answer. But I think for sure what we do know is that it's not just people doing whatever they want to do. No, it's targeted and there's a plan and it's not good. So I think today, what we're seeing in Minnesota and the protests and the reaction, it's good to ruminate on who the enemy actually is and what do they want to accomplish. But also if we know their playbook, we can kind of predict what's next. So.
Right. And so to that end, I happened to stumble across, and I think his name is it Gad Sad? I mean, I think
God
it really
Saad
is
or
God
something
Saad. Like GAA, or is it GAD?
GAAD.
GAAD SAD. Like that's his real name. And Elon reposted something he said, because how do we push back? Which is one of the points of our show, is pushing back against what we see in culture. What can we do? And he had a couple of really good ideas that I thought fit with, because it's not enough to just present this and go, here it is. We also then have to figure out what can we do back, which is what we talk about all the time. And he said, this is, to me, what we're seeing Trump do at the UN. This is what we see Vance do. This is what we're seeing Rubio do. He says, unequivocally defend Western values. These rules have been pushed in our direction so long, we feel weak and confused, and we are like, oh, I think we mean this. We've got to go back to unequivocally, without fear, defending our values. He called it ending unicorn something, multiculturalism vision. That is not working for us anymore. And this is huge when considering what we've just gone through and read through these 11 rules for radicals. Recommit to individual dignity over the celebration of collective identity. That's huge. They're all about the collective.
Yeah.
And you only get to a collective when you have forfeited the right to yourself. You ghost yourself so you can be part of the mob, the hive mind, the amoeba. And for what? Well, really, those in control of the hive mind and of the amoeba know it's destruction.
The warmth of collectivism.
The warmth of collectivism.
That was the talking point this week. Everybody was saying it.
Ugh. So then the others I've heard us talk about before: all cultures aren't evil or aren't equal. All religions and beliefs aren't equally consistent with Western values. I mean, these all make such sense. All immigrants aren't equally likely to assimilate. Those who advocate for intolerable values, like what's happening in Minnesota or Somalia or Maine or whatever's happening, those who advocate for intolerable values that seek to destroy the U.S., hello, New York City, get deported en masse. I love that. I'm for that. I like, get out. And then he says rational immigration policies. We can talk about that. But he wants people who are here that are willing to assimilate and who go along with our values. And then finally, he said, exhibit zero tolerance for seditious belief systems. Those all make such sense. I don't know if I'm able to say what he said on the other side of it was. I told you this morning or this afternoon when I got here what he said. But he doesn't know.
Can you paraphrase?
He doesn't know if we have the fortitude.
Yeah.
There was another word with it.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if we have the fortitude to do it.
Well, what's the alternative if we don't?
They take over our country.
Yeah, we turn into the USSR.
Which is their goal. I mean,
yeah.
I'm at this point not convinced otherwise.
Yeah, 100%. And I've actually seen some people who are trying to put a positive spin on it and say maybe this is like the shift from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. And it's like, but it's not hyperbolic to say America is at stake because they're attacking the foundation of what America is and what Western civilization is because of the rugged individualism. That was the exact reason the American Revolution happened. You know, we believe in certain unalienable rights given to each individual by their creator, God. It's not we as people are given rights by each other and the collective is no, each individual is given rights by God, and rugged individualism is what led Washington to cross the Delaware, what led, you know, the surrender and the victory and America to become a nation. But it's they're so anti-Western civilization and anti-American. That's like what we just saw with Venezuela. Their communist guy, Maduro, got sacked by America and Western civilization, and they were beyond upset that capitalism, Western civilization, beat communism in any form. So it's not, you know, it's not hyperbolic, I don't think, to say in the long term, the future of America depends on keeping communism at bay and away. But like I said, the $1 million question is how do you do that without getting into a full-blown fighting civil war, which is, I don't know. Maybe if you look at it from a 1,000-foot perspective, you're like, there's just no avoiding it. But I don't know. I'm still of the belief, I'm still holding hope. There's ways to defeat it without getting it to that point.
Well, I don't know why this just came to my mind, but today someone reached out to connect me with someone who's running for school superintendent in a county in Alabama, just to connect us and talk through ideas. And I was reminded again of when we talk about these issues, they seem so big and broad, and you're talking about Minnesota and you're talking about the globe and you're talking about the UN. Where you can really affect change again is who's your school board superintendent? Who is your school board? Who is your city council? Who is what is this the NSA? Are they trying to get us off off air? Yeah.
Okay.
But it really, really matters who are in those local positions because they are your first line of defense for being taken over from the communist regime, the communist agenda. So get to know who's running for your school superintendent and get involved and pay attention because it's even small. Oh God. I mean, I've watched it in Shelby County, small little changes, things that you wouldn't, I mean, it's okay. Yeah. We're going to quarantine those students that didn't get the vaccine. It's just 5 more days. They have to stay home. We're okay with that. We're going to make them sit out this basketball game because we're protecting others, the collective warmth of collectivism. And so all of a sudden, 10 years down the road, you're like full on socialists have these libtards running your county.
It's true.
Anyway.
Well, and I know we've talked about this over and over, but to put a spiritual theological spin on it, it's trying to put trust in man rather than God. So I think that's why you could see why Alinsky did a tribute to Lucifer, like you said. I think that if you want to go deep as to the root reason, I think that may be it. Trust in man rather than God.
Amen.
Okay. I think I need a nap. But
it's time for
instead,
Would You Rather.
We'll take a break and then come back with a very light. I hope it's very fun. No serious questions, okay?
Okay.
Would you rather on the other side? We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Quite the show today, you guys. Our Thursdays are generally called Thinker Thursdays, which is exactly what we did. Even as we wrestled through Minnesota, Trump taking us out of 66 different stupid organizations, wasting our time, our money, our resources. We talked to Allie from Athens about that amazing movie that I think we all need to go see. And then we talked through in our The Plunge segment that turned into segments.
Yeah, it was worth it. That
Rules
was really
for
good.
Radicals. It's a mind bender, but you'll see how much it's going to help when we talk to the James Lindsay tomorrow. And if you want to just get a quick hit of what James Lindsay is about, go grab one of his 17-minute nugget podcast where he breaks a deep issue down. What are they called?
Something bullet.
Incredible. Yeah. Is it bullets? Anyway, James Lindsay, look for his short little bullets. They're bullet points where you can learn about a deep issue very quickly. He's coming on tomorrow. I'm so glad you reached out to him. Don't miss what James has to say. But now, ta-da, we're finally at our favorite segment, Would You Rather?
Okay, so I found a Would You Rather wheel to spin on a website, and it picks one.
Gosh. Okay.
Out of 280 of them.
All right.
But okay, it's Would You Rather for like fun family Would You Rather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Would You Rather Die by...
Okay, that was deep Would You Rather. This is, all right, we're going to spin the wheel, see what we get here.
And like, why does the NSA care if they watch us play Would You Rather or not?
I don't know. But the question
Hey,
is,
NSA.
would you rather have one sibling or 5 siblings?
5.
Okay, I didn't even notice the camera just went out again.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Okay.
Yeah, 5. You see, I was an only child, so I don't really know what either's like, but I'm thinking 5 would be fun because you'd always have somebody to play with.
Yeah, I have 3. I like having more because like I have a unique relationship with each one, and some come in clutch in unique situations, and others in different situations. And which sibling you can rely on for certain stuff. So I like having more. I know it's a blessing for sure, but also, I mean, my 2 older brothers are so much older, so there were a lot of times it felt like me and my sister are 2 years apart. It was kind of like one, but I like having more.
You had options.
Yeah, I like having more.
I was 1 of 3. I like that.
Yeah.
But we have 4. You guys have 4. I wish I would have had more kids. And I
do you really?
Yeah, I wish I would have had 5 or 6.
Speaking of, where's Tom with all the kids?
He texted in earlier today,
He
actually,
did?
but he was talking about VNN's issues that we're having today.
Okay.
So,
Hey, but thanks for keeping us updated.
I always feel like a loser when I talk about how tough 4 kids is, which I wouldn't change anything. I mean, as an only child, it was, I didn't know how any of this worked.
Ugh.
I had friends that I'd go hang out at their houses and kind of see, but I never wanted siblings when I was younger because all I did was see them fight. But now, especially when my mom died, that was hard to go through by myself. But I would go with 5. Yeah, I think that's good.
all right, we're gonna spin the wheel again. Okay, I actually think we can turn it up and you can hear the wheel spinning.
I like that.
The anticipation.
That's good.
Would you rather be on a reality TV program showing your life 24/7 or live alone in isolation?
Oh, reality TV.
Yeah, as terrifying as it is, reality TV.
I would go crazy if I was like Tom Hanks and
Wilson.
Yeah. Wilson. Yeah.
I agree. Reality TV. Okay, time for one more. We're gonna jack it all the way up so we can hear it.
It's so loud.
I love the applause. Okay. Would you rather tell a harsh truth that hurts someone or a comforting lie that makes them feel good?
Harsh truth.
Yeah. I'm a harsh truth friend.
I used to be a comforting lie. I've not always, but there are times when you just don't want to tell the truth. And so
depends on the situation.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
like if you eat somebody's food they made you and it's not good, you're not going to tell them. But like if you see one of your friends going down the wrong path, you got to be like, brother.
Generally, I'm a truther, but I think sometimes it's like, hey, does this sweater look good?
Yeah.
Great. Did
you get that sweater at Walmart?
Actually, I did. I bought 2 of them. One day we'll wear our pink ones together.
Okay, we will.
But they look like free people. But you too can have one. $16.88 at Walmart.
I love it. I love you, Allison.
All right, tomorrow we've got James Lindsay. I'm sure he'll say something extremely controversial. It might be a really good debate, although that kind of scares me to take on James Lindsay. We'll have lots more news. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.